The sun was barely rising as I trudged along the empty street, my breath forming small clouds in the chilly morning air. My name is Ethan, and at 7 years old, life has already taught me about hardship and resilience. I clutched a small dented cup tightly in my hand, its once bright colors now faded and scratched. This cup was my only hope, the only tool I had to help my mother. The accident that had left my mother, Emma, paralyzed from the waist down was something I barely remember. I was too young to understand much, but I knew that my father, Matthew, had been the one driving when it happened. He left us, vanished without a trace, leaving Mom and me to fend for ourselves. Now, I spent my days on the street, hoping for the kindness of strangers to help raise the money needed for her surgery. I shuffled down the sidewalk, my shoes worn thin from countless days of walking. The cold seeped through my tattered jacket, but I pressed on, determined. My stomach growled, reminding me that I hadn't eaten since yesterday. I sat down on a nearby step, setting my cup in front of me and looking up at passers-by with hopeful eyes. A woman stopped in front of me, her eyes softening when she saw the pleading look on my face. She wore a bright red scarf and a warm coat, her breath misting in the cold air. "Good morning, little one," she said, her voice gentle. "What's your name?" I looked up at her, my voice barely above a whisper. "I'm Ethan. I'm trying to raise money for my mom. She needs surgery, and we don't have enough." The woman knelt down, her eyes filled with concern. "I'm so sorry to hear that. How much do you need?" I shrugged, trying to hide my frustration. "A lot. More than I can get here." She reached into her bag and pulled out a few crumpled bills, dropping them into my cup. "I hope this helps. You're doing a brave thing for your mother." "Thank you," I said, a small smile breaking through my tired face. "Every little bit helps." As the woman walked away, I noticed a young girl approaching. She couldn't have been more than 18, with a warm smile and a basket of baked goods. She looked at me with a mixture of curiosity and empathy. "Hi there," she said cheerfully. "I'm Sophie. I work at the bakery down the street. I've been seeing you out here every day. Do you want some pastries to sell? Maybe they'll help you raise more money." I blinked up at her, astonished. "Really? That would be great. I've been trying everything I can." Sophie nodded, handing me a small box filled with various pastries. "Just sell these, and keep whatever you make. Maybe people will be more willing to help if they get something tasty in return." "Thank you so much, Sophie," I said, my voice filled with gratitude. "No problem," she replied, giving me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. "Good luck, Ethan. I hope your mom gets better soon." With the box of pastries now in my hands, I set to work. As the day went on, the sweet smell of baked goods attracted more people. The response was better than I had hoped for. People stopped, bought pastries, and donated generously, their compassion warming my heart and filling my cup. Later, as I packed up for the day, I couldn't help but feel a glimmer of hope. Sophie's kindness had made a real difference, and for the first time in a long while, I felt that maybe, just maybe, we might be able to afford the surgery Mom needed. As I walked home with the money I had earned, I thought about the woman who had been so generous and the baker's assistant who had given me a chance. Even as the sun dipped below the horizon, I knew that I wasn't alone in this fight. With every step, I felt a little more confident that we were moving closer to the help Mom needed. The bakery on Elm Street was a cozy haven of warmth and sweetness, a refuge from the chilly autumn air outside. Inside, the aroma of fresh bread, pastries, and coffee created an inviting atmosphere that drew in customers with every waft of scent. Sophie, the 18-year-old bakery worker, busily arranged the display case, ensuring that each pastry was perfectly positioned for the morning rush. As she worked, her mind drifted back to the young boy she'd seen begging on the street earlier that day. Ethan's determined yet weary face had tugged at her heartstrings, and she couldn't shake the image of him holding that battered cup. It wasn't often she felt so compelled to help someone she didn't know, but something about Ethan's situation felt urgent and personal. In a quiet moment, she picked up her phone and dialed her boss, Mrs. Thompson, who was in the back office. "Hi, Mrs. Thompson," Sophie said, her voice tinged with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "I was wondering if I could take a few pastries to give to someone in need. There's a little boy named Ethan who's trying to raise money for his mother's surgery. I'd love to help him out." Mrs. Thompson's voice was warm and understanding. "That's a wonderful idea, Sophie. We can definitely spare some pastries. Just make sure you take care of it before the lunchtime rush." "Thank you," Sophie replied, relief evident in her tone. "I'll make sure to get them to him." Later that morning, Sophie packed a basket with an assortment of pastries, croissants, muffins, and cookies. She added a few extra items she knew would be popular, wanting to give Ethan the best chance to raise as much money as possible. When she arrived at the street where Ethan usually set up his makeshift station, she spotted him sitting on the curb, his eyes scanning the crowd with a hopeful look. Sophie approached him with the basket in hand, trying to hide her excitement behind a warm smile. "Hey, Ethan," she called gently as she neared him. He looked up, a mixture of curiosity and hope in his eyes. "Hi, Sophie. Did you come to buy something?" Sophie shook her head. "Actually, I brought something for you. These are pastries from the bakery. I thought you could sell them to help raise more money for your mom. I hope it helps." Ethan's eyes widened with surprise and gratitude. "Really? You're giving these to me? That's so kind of you." Sophie nodded. "Of course. It's the least I could do. I've been thinking about you and your mom all morning. I hope this helps make things a bit easier." As she handed him the basket, Ethan's small hands trembled slightly. "Thank you so much, Sophie. I didn't know if I'd be able to get enough money. Mom's been having such a hard time." Sophie crouched down to his level, her expression softening. "I'm sure you're doing everything you can. Just keep going, and remember that there are people who care about you and want to help." Ethan nodded, his eyes brightening with a glimmer of hope. "I'll do my best." Sophie gave him a reassuring smile before heading back to the bakery. She felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had made a small but significant difference in Ethan's life. As she walked back through the bakery's door, she was greeted by Mrs. Thompson. "Did everything go well?" Mrs. Thompson asked. Sophie nodded enthusiastically. "Yes," Ethan was really grateful. "I think these pastries are going to make a big difference for him." Mrs. Thompson smiled approvingly. "I'm proud of you, Sophie. It's people like you who make the world a better place." Feeling uplifted by the day's events, Sophie returned to her duties, her heart a little lighter. The simple act of kindness had not only helped Ethan, but had also renewed her faith in the power of compassion. As the day went on, she couldn't wait to hear about how much Ethan would raise and hoped that, together, we were one step closer to helping his mother get the surgery she so desperately needed. The bakery had become a bustling hub for locals, its reputation growing with each passing day thanks to Sophie's efforts and the delicious pastries she had managed to give to Ethan. The addition of the bakery treats had made a noticeable impact, and Ethan's small corner of the street had become a popular spot for passers-by wanting to support his cause. One crisp afternoon, as Ethan stood on his usual street corner, he noticed a well-dressed woman with striking features and a dignified presence walking toward him. Her deep blue eyes, framed by dark hair, seemed almost familiar. She wore a coat that suggested a sense of elegance and wealth, making her stand out from the ordinary crowd. Ethan's curiosity was piqued, and he approached her with a hopeful expression. "Excuse me, ma'am, would you like to buy some pastries? They're from the bakery, and all the money goes to help my mom." The woman, Olivia, paused and looked down at Ethan, her gaze softening. "Oh, how sweet of you to offer. I've heard about your story. I'm Olivia, by the way. Could I take a look at what you have?" As Ethan opened the basket to reveal the pastries, Olivia's eyes lingered on a particularly well-made croissant. She took one and handed Ethan a few bills. "Thank you for doing this, Ethan. I hope this helps." Ethan's eyes widened in appreciation. "Thank you so much, Olivia, you've been really kind. Olivia smiled warmly. It's the least I can do. I've seen you out here working hard, and I admire your dedication. Can I ask, how is your mother doing? Ethan's face fell slightly as he spoke. She's still having a hard time. She can't walk because of the accident, and we need money for her surgery. It's been really tough. Olivia's expression became more serious. I'm so sorry to hear that. If there's anything more I can do, please let me know. Before Ethan could respond, Olivia's phone buzzed, and she glanced at the screen. I have to head to an appointment, but I'll see if there's anything else I can do to help, and I might have a lead on someone who might be able to assist further. With that, Olivia gave Ethan a reassuring smile and walked away, her elegant strides contrasted by the bustling street. Ethan watched her leave, feeling a mix of hope and curiosity. A few days later, Sophie noticed Olivia walking into the bakery, carrying a sense of purpose. As Sophie was arranging fresh pastries, she greeted her with a friendly smile. Hi, Olivia. How are you today? Sophie asked, trying to maintain her usual cheerful demeanor. Olivia returned the smile, though her eyes revealed a thoughtful glint. Hello, Sophie. I came by to thank you personally. Your pastries made a big difference for Ethan. He's doing really well with his fundraising now. Sophie's eyes widened in surprise and delight. Really? I'm so glad to hear that. Ethan's a great kid. Is there anything else we can do to help? Olivia hesitated for a moment, then spoke with a hint of hesitation. Actually, I was hoping to talk to you about something. I have a hunch that Ethan and I might be connected in some way. I'm going to meet with his mother, Emma, soon to discuss it. Sophie looked intrigued. That sounds interesting. What makes you think there might be a connection? Olivia sighed softly. It's a bit complicated. I've seen someone who looks strikingly similar to Emma, and I think there could be a family link. I'm planning to have a DNA test done to find out more. I just wanted to thank you for all you've done to help Ethan and offer my gratitude in person. Sophie's curiosity piqued. She nodded. I hope everything turns out well. If you need any help or have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you, Sophie, Olivia said sincerely. I'll keep you updated on what happens. As Olivia left the bakery, Sophie stood by the counter, pondering the potential connection between Olivia and Ethan. She hoped that whatever Olivia's investigation revealed, it would bring more hope and support to Ethan and his mother. Sophie's heart ached for the young boy and his mother, and she hoped that their lives would soon change for the better. The news of a potential family connection between Olivia and Emma had spread through the community like wildfire, sparking a mix of hope and skepticism. Emma was both anxious and hopeful as she prepared for her meeting with Olivia. The prospect of a possible family member willing to help was a beacon of light in the midst of their struggles. The day of the meeting arrived, and Emma, despite her physical limitations, managed to get dressed in her best clothes, a simple but neat outfit that made her feel a bit more dignified. She sat at the small kitchen table in her modest apartment, nervously fidgeting with her hands. Ethan, who had been helping her with various tasks, could sense his mother's unease. Mom, are you sure you're okay? Ethan asked, his young voice filled with concern. You don't have to do this if you're not feeling up to it. Emma gave him a reassuring smile. I'm okay, sweetheart. I need to know if there's a chance that Olivia could be related to us. It could be important for us, for everything we're going through. The doorbell rang, and Ethan rushed to answer it. Olivia stood on the doorstep, her expression a mix of determination and empathy. Hi, Ethan, Olivia greeted warmly. Is your mother ready for our meeting? Ethan nodded and stepped aside to let Olivia in. Yes, come on in. Mom's waiting for you. Olivia entered the small living room and greeted Emma with a sincere smile. Hello, Emma. It's nice to finally meet you. Emma extended her hand, her voice slightly trembling. Hello, Olivia. Thank you for coming. As Olivia took a seat, Emma settled into her chair, making herself as comfortable as possible. The room felt tense with anticipation. I've been thinking a lot about what you told me, Olivia began, her tone earnest. There's something about your situation that feels very familiar to me. I'm hoping we can uncover the truth together. Emma nodded. I appreciate that. I've been told there's a resemblance between us, but I can't be sure. It would be wonderful if we could find some clarity. Olivia pulled out a small envelope from her bag and placed it on the table. I've brought a DNA test kit. If you're willing, we can take the test and see if we're related. Emma looked at the kit with a mixture of hope and apprehension. I'm willing to try. It might be the answer we need. As Olivia and Emma prepared for the test, Ethan observed from the sidelines, his heart racing with excitement and anxiety. The process was quick and straightforward, but the wait for the results would be much longer. A few days later, Olivia and Emma met again at the bakery, where Sophie had set up a small table for them to discuss the results. Sophie was busy preparing coffee and pastries for their meeting. Olivia arrived with the test results in hand, her face showing a blend of anticipation and nervousness. Emma sat down at the table, her hands clasped tightly together. Thank you for meeting me here, Olivia said, her voice steady but emotional. I've received the results. Emma took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. I hope it's good news. Olivia opened the envelope and glanced at the results. It looks like there's a strong genetic link between us. According to the test, we are indeed related. You're my half-sister. Emma's eyes widened in disbelief, and tears welled up in her eyes. I can't believe it. I've never imagined having a sister, let alone someone who could help us like this. Olivia reached across the table and took Emma's hand gently. I'm so glad we found each other. I want to help you in any way I can. We'll get through this together. Sophie, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward with a smile. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Ethan and Emma are great people, and they deserve all the support they can get. Emma looked at Olivia and Sophie with gratitude. Thank you both. Your kindness means more to us than words can express. As the three women embraced, a sense of relief and hope filled the room. Olivia's support offered Emma and Ethan a new sense of possibility, and the bonds of family, newly discovered, began to weave a new chapter in their lives. With the results of the DNA test confirming that Olivia was Emma's half-sister, a renewed sense of hope emerged in their lives. Olivia's presence brought a sense of stability and support that had been desperately needed. Despite the hardships they faced, this newfound family connection offered a glimmer of a better future. The days following the revelation were filled with a mix of activity and reflection. Olivia was determined to help Emma and Ethan, not just emotionally but also practically. She began by visiting Emma's apartment regularly, bringing groceries, helping with household chores, and spending time with Ethan. Her compassion was evident in every gesture, and her support was a welcome relief for Emma. One sunny afternoon, Olivia stopped by with a box of freshly baked pastries from the bakery. Ethan greeted her at the door, his face lighting up with a genuine smile. Hi, Olivia, Ethan said, opening the door wide. What's in the box today? Hi, Ethan, Olivia replied cheerfully. I brought some pastries from the bakery. I thought they might brighten up your day. Ethan's eyes widened in delight as he took the box from Olivia. Thanks. Mom loves your pastries. I'll go get her. As Ethan hurried off to find Emma, Olivia stepped inside, greeted by the familiar scent of home. Emma soon appeared, her face showing a mixture of gratitude and weariness. Olivia, you really didn't have to, Emma said, though her smile conveyed her appreciation. But thank you. These will definitely make us feel better. Olivia waved her hand dismissively. It's the least I can do. I'm just happy to be able to help. How are you feeling today? Emma sighed softly. It's been tough, but having you here makes it easier. I'm still trying to come to terms with everything, but I feel like there's a chance now. A real chance to improve our situation. Olivia nodded, her eyes filled with empathy. I understand. I've been thinking a lot about how I can support you both. I know things have been difficult, but I want to make a difference. Later that week, Olivia arranged a small fundraising event at the bakery to support Emma's surgery. She rallied the community, spreading the word about Emma's situation and the efforts Ethan had been making. The event included a bake sale, raffles, and a donation drive. On the day of the event, the bakery was bustling with activity. Colorful banners adorned the walls, and the sweet aroma of baked goods filled the air. Ethan and Emma arrived at the bakery, their eyes wide with amazement at the sight of so many people coming together for their cause. Sophie greeted them at the entrance, her face beaming with pride. "Welcome. We're so glad you could make it." Ethan's face was flushed with excitement. "This is amazing. I didn't expect so many people to come." Sophie smiled warmly. "It's all thanks to Olivia. She's been working tirelessly to make this event a success." As Olivia joined them, she handed Emma a large envelope filled with donations. "The community has really come through for you. I hope this helps with the surgery and gives you a bit of peace of mind." Emma took the envelope with tears in her eyes. "I don't know how to thank you all enough. This means so much to us." Olivia squeezed Emma's hand gently. "You don't need to thank us. We're family now, and that's what family does, supports each other through thick and thin." The event was a resounding success, raising a significant amount of money for Emma's surgery. The outpouring of support from the community, combined with Olivia's unwavering assistance, brought a renewed sense of hope and optimism to Emma and Ethan's lives. As the event concluded and the bakery quieted down, Olivia, Emma, and Ethan gathered in a corner, reflecting on the day's success. Emma looked at Olivia with heartfelt gratitude. "Today has been incredible," Emma said. "I never imagined that we would have this kind of support. It feels like a dream." Olivia smiled softly. "It's not a dream, Emma. It's the beginning of a new chapter for us. We've faced a lot of challenges, but together, we can overcome anything." Ethan, standing between them, looked up with a hopeful expression. "Thank you, Olivia. You've given us so much hope." Olivia ruffled his hair affectionately. "You're welcome, Ethan. Remember, we're in this together, and no matter what, we'll face the future with strength and hope." As the evening drew to a close, Emma, Ethan, and Olivia walked out of the bakery, their hearts lighter and their spirits lifted. The support they received had not only brought financial relief, but had also rekindled their hope for a better future. The journey ahead was still uncertain, but with their newfound family bond and the community's support, they felt ready to face whatever came their way. With the success of the fundraising event and the significant amount of money raised, Emma's surgery was scheduled, and preparations for the procedure began. The promise of a better future, bolstered by Olivia's support and the community's generosity, brought a renewed sense of hope to Emma and Ethan. The weeks leading up to the surgery were filled with a blend of anticipation and anxiety. Emma underwent extensive pre-operative evaluations, and Olivia made sure to be by her side, offering support and encouragement. Emma's apartment, once a place of quiet struggle, now felt like a haven of warmth and solidarity. One afternoon, as Emma and Olivia sat in the living room, the sun streaming through the windows, they talked about the upcoming surgery. "I can't believe the surgery is just around the corner," Emma said, her voice tinged with both excitement and apprehension. "I'm nervous, but I'm also hopeful." Olivia reached over and patted Emma's hand reassuringly. "It's normal to feel nervous, but remember, you're not alone. We've come so far, and you've shown incredible strength. This surgery is the next step toward a new chapter in your life." Emma nodded, taking a deep breath. "I'm grateful for everything you've done. I don't know how to repay you." Olivia smiled warmly. "You don't need to repay me. Seeing you and Ethan moving toward a better future is reward enough. We're family now, and family looks out for each other." As the day of the surgery arrived, Emma was prepped and ready. Ethan clung to Olivia's hand, his eyes wide with worry. Olivia knelt down to his level, trying to comfort him. "Hey, Ethan," Olivia said gently. I know you're worried about your mom, but she's in good hands. The doctors and nurses will take excellent care of her. We'll be right here waiting for her to come out." Ethan nodded, though his lip trembled. "I just want her to be okay." Olivia squeezed his hand. "So do I. And she will be. We'll get through this together, just like we always have." The surgery was lengthy, and the waiting room was filled with tension. Olivia, Ethan, and a few close friends and community members who had supported Emma waited anxiously. Hours later, a doctor finally emerged, a reassuring smile on his face. "Emma's surgery went very well," the doctor announced. "The procedure was successful, and she's now in recovery. She'll need some time to heal, but everything looks promising." A collective sigh of relief filled the room. Ethan's face lit up with a hopeful smile, and Olivia wrapped her arm around him comfortingly. "Thank you so much," Olivia said, her voice full of gratitude. "We've been through so much, and this means the world to us." The days following the surgery were a period of recovery and adjustment. Emma spent time in the hospital, and Olivia visited regularly, bringing flowers, books, and magazines to keep Emma company. Ethan, too, was a constant presence, sitting by his mother's bedside and sharing stories to lift her spirits. One day, as Emma was finally discharged and returned to her apartment, she was met with a small celebration organized by Olivia and the community. Friends and supporters gathered to welcome Emma home and celebrate the milestone. "Welcome back, Emma," Sophie exclaimed as Emma walked through the door, supported by Olivia. "We've missed you." Emma looked around at the warm, smiling faces and felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. "Thank you all for being here and for everything you've done. This means so much to me." As the days turned into weeks, Emma's recovery progressed well. Physical therapy sessions were challenging, but with Olivia's encouragement and Ethan's unwavering support, Emma began to regain her strength and mobility. Her transformation was both physical and emotional, as she learned to navigate her new life with renewed hope and determination. One evening, as Emma and Olivia sat together in the living room, Emma looked at Olivia with a profound sense of appreciation. "Olivia," Emma said softly, "I can't express how much your support has meant to us. You've changed our lives in ways I can't even begin to describe." Olivia smiled, her eyes reflecting her own emotions. "Seeing you and Ethan happy and hopeful is all I could ever ask for. We've been through a lot, but we've made it through together. That's what matters most." Ethan, who had been quietly drawing in the corner, joined them and held up his drawing of a house with a big sun and flowers. "Look, Mom, I drew this for you. It's our new home with a lot of sunshine and flowers." Emma's eyes filled with tears as she looked at the drawing. "It's beautiful, Ethan. Thank you." Olivia gently hugged both Emma and Ethan. "Here's to new beginnings and brighter days ahead." As the evening sun cast a golden glow over the apartment, Emma, Ethan, and Olivia sat together, united by their shared journey and the promise of a brighter future. The road ahead would still have its challenges, but with their new bond and the support of those around them, they faced it with renewed strength and optimism. As the weeks passed, Emma's recovery continued to progress smoothly. With Olivia's help, Ethan's unwavering support, and the encouragement from their growing circle of friends, Emma began to regain her strength and independence. The apartment, once a symbol of their struggles, now felt like a place of hope and new beginnings. One morning, Emma and Olivia sat at the kitchen table, sipping coffee and discussing their plans for the future. "I've been thinking," Emma said, gazing out the window at the sunny day, "about how we can make this place more accessible and comfortable for me. I want to make sure Ethan has a good environment to grow up in, too." Olivia nodded thoughtfully. "That sounds like a great idea. I've been talking to some people about possible renovations. Maybe we could look into getting some help with that." Emma smiled gratefully. "I'd really appreciate that. I want to focus on getting back to a normal routine, and having a comfortable home would make a big difference." As they talked, Ethan burst into the kitchen, holding up a small wrapped package. "Look what I made for you, Mom," he said, his eyes shining with excitement. Emma took the package with a gentle smile. "What's this, sweetheart?" Ethan beamed as she unwrapped the package to reveal a handmade photo frame, decorated with colorful drawings and stickers. "It's for the new picture we'll take together. I want us to always remember this time." Emma's eyes welled up with emotion as she hugged Ethan tightly. "It's perfect, Ethan. Thank you." Later that day, Olivia and Emma went to visit a local community center that offered support for families recovering from hardships. They met with a counselor named Sarah, who specialized in helping people adjust to major life changes. "Emma," Sarah began, "I'm so glad to meet you. I understand this has been a challenging time, but I want you to know that we're here to support you in any way we can, whether it's through counseling, community activities, or connecting with other families. We're here to help." Emma looked at Olivia and then at Sarah, feeling a renewed sense of hope. "Thank you. I'm ready to start moving forward and making the most of this new chapter in our lives." Sarah smiled warmly. "That's the spirit. Let's work together to create a plan that will support both you and Ethan. We'll take it one step at a time." Over the next few weeks, Emma, Ethan, and Olivia worked together to make their apartment more accommodating. They installed ramps, widened doorways, and rearranged furniture to ensure Emma could move around easily. The renovations turned their home into a more accessible and welcoming space. One evening, as the finishing touches were being made, Olivia and Emma sat on the porch, enjoying the warm evening breeze. "I can't believe how much has changed," Emma said, her voice filled with awe. "This place feels like a real home now. I'm so grateful for everything you've done." Olivia smiled, her heart full. "I'm just happy to see you and Ethan thriving. You've both shown so much strength and resilience. This is your new beginning, and I'm honored to be a part of it." As they talked, Ethan ran up the steps, carrying a small box. "I got something for us," he announced excitedly. Emma and Olivia looked at each other, curious. Ethan opened the box to reveal a set of colorful kites. "I thought we could all go to the park and fly these together. It'll be fun, and we can celebrate our new beginning." Emma's face lit up with joy. "That sounds wonderful, Ethan. Let's do it." The following Saturday, they set out for the park with their kites in hand. The sky was clear, and the wind perfect for flying. As they stood in the open field, the kites danced in the air, each one representing a symbol of their new start. Olivia watched as Ethan and Emma laughed and played, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. She knew that the road ahead would still have its challenges, but seeing them so happy made all the effort worthwhile. Emma turned to Olivia and said, "This is more than I ever hoped for. Thank you for helping us find our way. I don't think I could have done this without you." Olivia hugged her gently. "You've done so much yourself, Emma. You've shown incredible courage and determination. I'm just glad to be here with you." As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the park, Emma, Ethan, and Olivia sat together on a blanket, watching their kites soar high. It was a moment of pure contentment, a reflection of the journey they had traveled and the new path they were forging together. In that moment, surrounded by laughter, love, and the promise of a brighter future, Emma felt a profound sense of peace. With Olivia's support and the strength of her family, she knew that they were ready to embrace whatever came next with hope and optimism. Their new beginning had arrived, and with it, the promise of a future filled with possibility, happiness, and the joy of a life rebuilt.